Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, y'all. Welcome to Bankroll Your Brilliance Thursdays. I'm Nicole Jones. I come here live on Black Doctor once a week, every Thursday, 12 p.m. EST, to give you insight, tools, strategy to get paid for what you know. So every time I come to you, I'm coming to you from three areas. One is understanding the power of your brilliance. I hope you realize that God put purpose in you for purpose. And I want to make sure you're clear on what that is and what it does, not just for you, but for all those that need you. So that's the first area. The second is a value tied to it. Because, in the 28 years, 28 that I've been doing this work, so many people overlook the value that they bring. And this woman today, she gonna give us a good, yummy conversation about that. But really, today's conversation really is about number three, and it's really how to create multiple streams of income from what you already are doing. And so, as you come in, number one, come and say hello. Now, I look on the comments here. If you see me looking to the side, I'm looking at my iPad because sometimes the comments come through and sometimes they don't here on my computer. So come in, say hello, tell us where you're from. As our expert today shares, if you have questions, if she steps on your foot, right, or she's saying something that resonates with you, I want to know. And so what you do is you give us heart emojis. Come in, say hello, tell us where you're from. I say this every week. You don't walk in somebody's house and not speak, right? Ooh, my grandmother would have a whole belt for you if you did that. Those of you that were raised old school, right? So at least say hello as you're coming in, even if you're watching the replay. Hi, Isha. Am I saying that right, Aisha? Tell us where you're from. All right. So with that, let's get this party started from Sierra Leone. All right, all the way across the world. I love it. Hey, Yvette in Chicago. Come on in, y'all. So with that said, let me introduce to you our guest. So her name is Dionna Mitchell. Now, she's hailed as the movement maven and serves coaches, entrepreneurs, and business owners to build, create, and become adept at launching their own movement to impact the world. She's a speaker, a brand consultant, and curator, an Amazon best-selling author of Move Now, and the founder of the Manifest Now agency. She was, now listen, this is a few awards that she's received because I didn't have enough time to list them all, right? So she's been the recipient of the 2018 21st Century Woman Valiant Leader Award. She's been the honoree of the 2019 Lincoln University of Missouri Alumni Young Alumni Making Moves Award. And by the way, she was Miss St. Are you Miss St. Louis? Girl, I'm probably messing it up, so correct me when you come on. And she was a 2018 AVP awardee from NRJ Enterprises, which is my company. So yes, we honored her for all that she does to stand the power of who she was called to be and helping others to lead a movement to do the same. And she's been featured in Ebony Magazine, Speakers Network Magazine, her sister company LLE, which is triple L's, three L's. E is a platform partner with the international company Black Speakers Network. So again, I could go on and on, but let's get this woman in this room. Come on in, come on in. Welcome, Miss Dionna. Hey, girl.
Hi, guys. Hi, Nicole. Hey, everybody.
I'm so excited to have you here. Oh, and Rhonda from St. Louis is in the house. Hey, girl. And
Hey,
I see Sandra from Riverside. So Deanna's from St. Louis, but she lives in the DMV, right? So we're excited to have you. So I'm going to just jump right in because listen, I'm always committed to be here for 30 minutes. Let me tell you why I only do 30 minutes because y'all are busy. And you should be able to get enough insight in 30 minutes. And if you need more, then at the end, we'll always tell you how you can get connected to this firehouse woman that's with us today. So tell us why people call you the movement maker.
So, Nicole, people call me the movement maker. I always say that everything in life will be aligned with your calling, right? And so what happened was just from a very young age, I've always been in the works of being with experiences. I mean, since I was born, look at me, guys, not to say it in a whole experience, way, but I'm a full experience. I'm a full experience, my personality and everything. But starting out from a younger age, even throughout just college, I always was a part of experiences. I sat on boards that created experiences for students. I sat on boards in my professional career life. And what I noticed was that people were calling me for the same thing. People were calling me to come in and either to one, help them to fill their event, to sell out their event, or to create a unique experience that was outside of the box in the industry is what I found.
Yeah. That's so good. And the thing that I love about, so I have had the pleasure of doing some work with Deanna, and I got to say this out of the gate. So when she first came to me, she thought she was an event planner. Now, let me tell y'all something. Now, you can see that she's a unique being in and of herself. And you can pretty much find an event planner on every corner. So I was like, something seems like it's missing because I feel like she's so much more than that. And so the thing that I think is yummy, and I'm sharing this with you guys because so many people overlook the exact niche. Hey, Michonne, overlook the exact niche that they serve because maybe it's never been done before. Hello, Deanna. Maybe somebody doesn't understand it. Maybe people don't realize they have a need. But as soon as you step into the atmosphere, things shift. So tell everybody kind of, and this is not even one of our questions, right? So tell everybody kind of, what shifted everything for you to really understand you are not an event planner. Now, she does plan events, but her gift is really the movement around the event.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So a part of that was, to be honest, Nicole, part of it was like our conversations because Nicole has this, and this is not, as you know, this is BlackDoctor.org. We're bringing all this great information, but I really want you guys to understand the value that you have with having Nicole here with you once a week,
Mm-hmm.
every month, because she has this unique ability to not just see you, but to see right through you and see that core being of who you are. And so we had a conversation and it didn't feel good to me. Like people would call me an event planner and I hated it. Like people, I was like, no. And I would have this long explanation of what I did. But who has time when you're in a busy world, when you're at events all the time? I stay at events. I'm a social butterfly. Nobody has time to hear my 3-minute elevator speech for real. Like they want to know exactly what I do. And I was like saying event planner, and then people would be like, "Oh, you can do my wedding. Oh, you can do." And I was like, "Ugh."
Right.
That's not what I do. And so once I really got clear about what I did, and so that was really the shift for me. The shift for me was really getting fed up and knowing that, because a lot of times I always talk about knowing who you be, and we talk about this a lot, Nicole, at your core. And when something doesn't feel good, or somebody that you're working with, it just doesn't feel good, you know that at your core is speaking to your core self and it's saying that isn't who you are, what you do, or who you be. And so I was like, okay, I know I'm in this events industry, and I know that I'm event planning, but I'm not doing just regular event planning. Yeah, I can help you do, I can use my gift to get you contract negotiations. I can do sales. I can help you decorate, but I don't like any of those things. What I love is engagement. I love people. I love being able to bring experiences. I love being able to see you come up with the idea and help you to pack that place out with your ideal client. That's what I absolutely love. And that's what lit me up. That fire with us having that conversation shifted me. So I was like, this don't feel good. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore because this doesn't feel good anymore.
Right. And I love that she said that because I want you guys to get this. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'm gonna say that one more time. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? And before I go in, I want to acknowledge Everett in Tokyo. Hey, what time is it in Tokyo? And what time is it in Sierra Leone, by the way? And hey, Tarsha from South Carolina. I love it. I love it. Y'all keep saying hi as we're talking. So listen, the thing that I think is really interesting is there's a difference between hustle and flow. Hustle is anytime anytime somebody comes to me, I'm gonna make that money because I don't know when money's coming again. Flow is trusting the gift and knowing that things will flow to you. Now, as you were sharing, what I was thinking of is after we shifted her own conversation, and really what it is when you're working with a coach, whether it's me or somebody else, the beauty in working with the coaches, and you guys have heard me say this if you've been on a number of times, a coach looks in your blind spots. Now, y'all know when you're driving, there's a whole blind spot that your driving instructor tells you to look in, even though you have a side mirror on your car, right? Hey, Sherry from Tennessee. So I want you to get, that was her blind spot. And the other piece is it's uncomfortable because who talks about that? But at the same time, how do you feel an event? What's the point of having an event if nobody's coming?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think it's so yummy, just the shift. And so tell everybody when you made that shift. Well, let me just say this because she don't realize the question I'm asking. The thing that I love, let me just say it, and I'm asking the next question. As soon as she made that shift, I don't know if it was within a week or within a month, you got your first 5-figure contract.
Absolutely. As soon as I made that shift, it felt good. I called Nicole, I was like, girl. Once we made that shift, I was like, the money is flowing in and I live in the flow now. Like I'm very comfortable with being in the flow. And like Nicole said earlier, when it's not attaching to your being and you hustling all the time, when you hustle, you out of breath. You trying to chase the next dollar. You won't tell people no, even though you don't feel like doing it. Even though it's a
Right.
struggle, you'll take on people, take on clients, take on all kind of things, take on careers, contracts, whatever it is, because you're hustling. But when you're in the flow,
Right.
it is such an amazing feeling. And you can say
Mm-hmm.
no, and you can pick and choose what you do, how you do it, and when you do it. And I am so excited because with my
Mm-hmm.
company with Manifest Now, I really am manifesting now. I really am in the flow of manifesting the dream that I want to live because of the shift. When we talked about that shift and I made that one little turn, a lot of times, I want to say this, Nicole, a lot of times in life, we just need one shift. It's kind of like that idea of water flowing, right? And so, you may have a slow drip in your sink at your home or something. And all it takes is for that plumber comes in, he takes that wrench, he just shifts it one little inch. You're like, I could have did that. But
Right.
sometimes it takes a professional to come
Mm-hmm.
in, see
Even
see
see
what
it.
it is,
Mm-hmm.
to see what
Right.
know what they're doing, because you can only take yourself to the level that you know, right? So Nicole, by the time I met Nicole, I had been in business maybe about 5 or 6 years for myself. Nicole had already put about 20 years in. So a lot of things that I was thinking about doing or trying to do, she had already done. And so it was easier for her to come in because she didn't have so much clutter. Like I had clutter. And so she didn't have so much clutter. She can come right in and be like, hey, okay, this shift needs to happen.
And it's going to be scary. Listen, and the
Yes.
reason I can say this because I had to shift too, right? And those of you that have been around, if you haven't been around a while, go back and watch some of the episodes where I was on, where I talked about bankrolling business. I'm not going to tell my story today, but listen, I'm not somebody that walks, just talks the talk. I walk the walk. And all of my clients are that way because you can't just be someone that has words on a page. Listen, you can write all this fake stuff in social media, y'all. You can be anybody you want to be. You can pull your house off Pinterest and say, "Ooh, this is my new house." Oh, you can have a whole fake ministry. Dare I say fake and ministry together, but you can, right? And so one of the things that's key is to be clear and true to your DNA. And when I say DNA, I mean distinct natural ability. So I'm going to shift this conversation from me and let's dig into the DNA of this brilliant, bad movement maker, right? So what are the top 3 to 5 questions your clients ask you around creating their movement?
So when it comes to creating my clients' movement, one of the questions that people ask is, where do I start? Like, how do I create a following or a tribe? So what happens a lot of times, Nicole, and you may have experiences, or you see this with a lot of your clients too, is people have these great, great ideas to create these events, to create these big experiences, and they create them, they put all this money into it, they buy production, everything. And then when it's time to fill the event, they're 2 weeks out and like, oh, we don't have anybody buying tickets. Well, let me tell you something. One falsity that comes to my mind that my clients come with is, if you build it, they will come.
Woo!
This is a false expectation
And then you all
that goes
excited
into,
because you got the pretty website and you
yep,
got the venue was phenomenal. You got all the good food, and just because you do all of that means
yep.
nothing.
It's going to be you and your crew in there looking
Okay,
at each other.
and crickets. Y'all know the cricket sound, right? That cricket. I wish I had the voice, the sound. I would have thought about how to put it on here, right? It's that cricket sound, right?
Yep,
Anyway, sorry,
yep.
keep going.
No, you're fine. So the first thing is the first idea, the first thing that clients always come to me is, how do I build my tribe? And thinking about this idea of, if they build it, they will come. And they're really in this awe of like, I build it up, like Nicole said, everything looks
Mhm.
pretty. I got this nice hotel, I have all these things built up. The next thing is, now once I've created it, how
But
do I not only drive them?
second, let me just stop you for a second because somebody is not realizing what you mean by tribe, and I want y'all to get this.
Yeah.
You can't just have anybody in the event. You're having an event for an ultimate result. So you've got to get the right people. So listen, I could call my cousins, my auntie, my mother. I could call all my girlfriends to come to an event. But if I'm going to grow my business, I love them and I love their support. But they can't help me. They're not going to become a client. So you've got to make sure you have. When she's saying tribe, I want you guys to get what she's meaning is the right people. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I just had to
No, that's
qualify
good,
that.
Nicole. Thank you. Sometimes I'm so used to talking about it now. My people know what tribe is, that I forget. So thank you for clarifying that. So yes, tribe, your people that you're called to. The people that you're called to, not your mama and your cousin and them down the street, the people that are called to your gifting. So the idea of, if you build it, they will come, right? The next thing is understanding, once you create it, how do I drive them into the event? How do I nurture those relationships? A lot of people don't know how to nurture relationships. So a lot
Yeah.
of people, they build this event, They don't know how to get the people in the room. But then how are you nurturing relationships? I can't come, like for instance, you all don't know me. You know Nicole. I'm Nicole, one of Nicole good girlfriends right now. So you may want to check me out a little bit, but you may not. It just depends. But I can't just come out the game like, hey y'all, can y'all buy these tickets to this event that I'm having on September the 9th? Y'all gonna be like, do I know
And who
you?
are you?
Nicole.
Okay. And how much is that ticket?
Nicole,
Why should I come? Right.
right. I don't know you, but Nicole always tells this great story around when she first met her husband. If she would have came out the gate and just saying, and she knew this was her man, and been like, oh, and he came out to the date and was like, here your ring, let's go get married, she would have ran for the hills, and I would have ran too. Somebody does this to me even to this day. Right.
Right.
But he had to date her. He had to get to know her. He had to nurture that relationship so that she could trust, know, and value who he was. And that's the same
Right.
thing with your business or with your events or with your experiences. I call my events event experiences because they're not just events, they're out of the box. They're always
Right.
something shifting different. So the second thing is this idea of how do I drive them into this event? That's really how do you nurture that relationship. So the idea of if you build it, they will come. How do I nurture those relationships? And then one of the final things, I think this is probably the most important. There's a lot of other things in there talking about like how do I build out my budget, things like that. We get into the nitty gritty of that when we work together, right? But the biggest thing is the after show. This is the piece that
Mm.
people always miss in their business. This is
Yeah.
the piece that people always miss in events, even if it's not necessarily a profitable event, right? Maybe you're selling an idea or something of that nature. We always forget the after show. What do I mean by the after show? That's the follow-up. As simple as that, the follow-up. A lot of times people build out these events. It's so great, these great ideas. The event goes well. Let's say in the perfect word, your event goes well. And then what? People leave feeling excited,
Mm-hmm.
motivated. How are you following up with them? How do you know the transformation occurred? How
Yeah.
are you going to keep, is this just a one time in a lifetime type of event? No, you want to keep people coming into your business. You want
Yeah.
to keep people coming into your events and your experiences. So how are you cycling them through the process? What does your customer relationship or customer journey really look like when they come to you? They come to this live event, even if the live event is free. What does that look like? So that after
Yeah.
show, that follow up is so important.
That's so good. That's so good. And I love that you got it the after show. So it's the pre-show, right?
Mm-hmm.
The show, and then the after show.
Yeah.
And everybody focuses on the show. They forget the pre and the post, which is what she's marvelous at. Now she can do the show too. But those are the two pieces that people forget is how do you get people to the event? Just because you post it. You're gonna go on Eventbrite. Some of y'all are gonna go on Eventbrite and post event today, and people will see it. But so it
Mm-hmm.
is a whole strategy around it. And it's not just strategy a week before or 2 weeks before, right? But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole training in and of itself. So why is it important? Because we talked about this a little bit, but why is it important to get the right people into an event?
Oof, this is a good one right here. It's this is the good part right here because Nicole, you've been doing events as a part of your company. A lot of people, another question I want to kind of put this out there, this ties in. A lot of people, even if they don't have events in their question, they ask me, say, well, why do I need events in my company? It's the same reason that I'm about to give you right now. Because you're not just throwing events because unless you are out here and you are Paris Hilton or who is that, Beyonce or whoever, they still have an agenda around why they're throwing an event, right? So they still
Yeah.
understand why they're throwing an event, but you're throwing events more than likely when you're working with me because you want to have profitable experiences for your clients and for your company. And so if you
Mhm.
don't have events in your company, and then if you don't have the right people in your company, then you're going to experience a drought because you're going to get all these people that are not aligned to your brand. A lot of times what
Yeah.
I've been noticing before the pandemic is I was working with some people and they were like, oh, we're going to get this celebrity to come and this celebrity to come. And I was like, what if that celebrity isn't your people's people? Just because they're a popular name, I might get a
Mhm.
girl from Love and Hip Hop. My tribe, I love me a little, what we call
I love
ratchet
hip
TV
hop too.
sometimes, right?
However, right.
I love it.
Right.
But the people that I really want to work with that are going to bring transformation for my business and for the people that are out there that they're serving aren't necessarily following Mimi from Love and Hip Hop, right?
Hello. And if you know who Mimi is, that
So
means you love hip hop too.
So
Right.
I have to be clear about that. So you have to be
Yeah.
clear. It's this whole idea of around clarity around who do you want and to bring into your tribe. And so it's so important to have the right people in the room. Is one for profits. Two is for transformation. Like if you're
Mhm.
this is something that really upsets me sometimes, Nicole. If you're doing your business and you're doing business and you're not experiencing, or people that you are working with are not experiencing transformation, meaning that they're not glowing, growing, and then leaving and then bringing more people because how you've helped them and transferred and shifted them, you're not
Yeah.
doing something right. Me and Nicole are
Yeah.
God girls. I don't know if we can even say that here on
Yeah.
BlackDoctor.org,
Yes,
but we're
girl.
we're God girls. And so we believe in
Mhm.
holistic transformation. We believe that
Yeah.
everybody that we touch should experience some type of transformation when they talk to us. And so the
Hmm.
other reason why it's important for you to get your right tribe or get butts in seats is for the transformation of it all. The last reason is that you want to be able to take them through a cycle. You have what's called, and Nicole may talk about this later, however, you have what's called a customer journey or a client journey or your people journey or whatever you want to call it. And you want to take
Hmm.
them through a whole journey. It's a full experience. You don't want to go from, I notice what people do, and when I meet people, this is where my shift and my transformation happens with them, is that they go from event to event. They don't think about the middle part of how to fill the event. They don't think about that other part. So they don't think about what does that journey look like? And how do I go from event to experience and then to an
Yeah.
event and back to an experience? People are experiencing you right now. We're experiencing
Hmm.
us right now. Nicole's not just coming on here and say, oh, you know what? I got this. I'm gonna be live speaking somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. No, she's right now. We're here and we're pouring into you,
Yeah.
not because we just don't have anything to do, because we think it's so important for you
Yeah.
to for transformation to happen right before this. Transformation doesn't happen at the event. It doesn't happen during the
That's so
event, and it doesn't
good.
happen after the event.
That's
It
so good.
happens through all the whole cycle. So I just want to
Ooh.
say that part.
Girl, so, what just popped in my mind, I should say spirit, when she was talking is, and she said God's girl, but just popped in my spirit. I really want you guys to get this and don't miss this because you're going to go on this whole Christian conversation. Don't miss this. I want you to get this. Okay. So when Jesus was on this earth, he didn't walk around going, I'm the son of God. I'm the son of God. I can save you. He didn't walk around doing that. So many people do, I'm having an event. You should come to my event. I don't know you. What Jesus did was allow us to experience him. Look at every single parable in the Bible. And what came to mind is and I'm gonna mess this up. Listen, y'all, I know the Bible for me. I don't know what to like talk about it unless I go and dig deep, right? So I'm saying that because I'm going to say this probably wrong. So Dionna, please correct me. When Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 5 fish, or was it 1 loaf and 5 fish? That's why I was like, I'm gonna be wrong. And fed 5,000. That was
Mm-hmm.
an experience. And when people experienced him, but when you allow people to see you and you serve them, and believe it or not, some of y'all are getting experience today. Some of y'all need Dionna. And by the way, if you do, she has a free gift to talk about that in a minute. And because of this experience you're having right now, you're going to follow her. That is what she's talking about. So you've got to allow people in to see. Now you don't need to be fake because people will also will see through your fake. You need to be authentic and create an experience end to end, not just an event at the event, but the pre-show and the after show. I love that she called it that, right? And so I think this is such an area where, it's so funny when I meet people and they say they want to start a business and they tell me they want to have an event. I always go, why? Because I think people think events are easy. Now, trust me, I love doing events because I'm a people person. I love to touch people, even though I haven't had a real event since Corona. But I even love people to touch people virtually, right? And so even this is an event, and there's pre-work that has to be done. And some of you guys participate in the after. And here's the after. If you have questions, well, I'll do that. I'll do that at the end. So and closing, number one, I want those of you that know, like, you want to have an event, you've been having events, you don't know how to fill an event. Tell them about the free gift that is there on the screen that you have made available for them.
Yay! I know. I'm so excited about this free gift. I love freebies, right? Like I love freebies because this one helps you to experience who I am, but two, it's my way to pour back into you. To if you want to
Yeah.
get started today on whatever it is, whatever idea or whatever is birthed in your belly, you can start today. And so there's 2 free gifts. Actually, I was supposed to do one, but there's 2 in here. So that was my little
she
gift
could
today.
because she's an
So
overgiver, and so she wanted to give you everything. Right. Go ahead.
all the things. Well, one of them, the reason I decided to do 2 is because right now in this world right now, as you know, Nicole, we used to do live events all the time, and now we're shifting into virtual. And with
Yeah.
the world opening back up, I've talked to a lot of clients. We're now shifting to hybrid events, right?
Hmm.
And so the first freebie is really an overall freebie. It's really 4 steps to build your movement through event experiences. I'm going to give you the 4 steps, and it really kind of talks about my system called the Star Player System, where we talked about the pre-show, the show during, and then the after show. Okay, so those 4 steps that kind of help you out. And then the last one is a hybrid quick event checklist. So remember how Nicole was talking about, oh, it doesn't start 3 weeks, 6 months, 5 months out. I condensed it down to 3 weeks out. Okay, because the 3 weeks out, are so important. There's so many things that you need to do 3 weeks out that I didn't want to
Yeah.
overwhelm you. I don't want to overwhelm you from 8 months out until 3 weeks. So I figured 3 weeks out is going to really, really show you all the things that you should have did 5 months ago before you
But it
start
gives
your event.
perspective. It gives perspective because I'm gonna tell you guys. Now I come from TV and film, so I'm used to production, and this is in full disclosure. When I did my first event, I was like, I got to do what now, and who, and I got to what, and I was starting 2 months out, and I was like, oh my God, I was in full on overwhelm because I didn't realize, I didn't know what I didn't know. It took somebody like Dionna to help me see what I didn't know I needed to do, right? And so this is a generous gift. So if you have a business and you're doing an event, or you want to do an event at any time in the future, grab the gift. You see it there at the bottom of the screen. Grab that gift. It's going to make a difference, not just in your ability to have an event, because anybody can have an event, and it's going to make a difference in you having a profitable event, which ultimately is what you want. So in closing, Dionna, is there anything else you want to share? Oh, first, tell them how they can find you, and then closing comment.
Absolutely. So, absolutely, when you download the free gift, that's going to automatically pop you into my email list serve. Okay. Now, I do not spam. I don't believe in it. I hate when people spam me. I have a whole attitude that I unsubscribe. So, I won't do you that way. I promise.
Right.
But that's the first way to really get in contact with me, is to go through, and I'll send you a blog twice a week. I do a blog twice a week. And one of them is a free gift always. It's not anything juicy, but it's a free gift of some kind. The other way is if you go onto Instagram or here on Facebook. I have a community called the Manifest Now community. And then on Instagram, you can find me at manifest.now. Again, it's manifest.now. The company's name is Manifest Now. And Nicole, I'm just so honored to be here with you today. I thank you for thinking about me and bringing
Of
me
course.
in here into your space to be with your people and your tribe of these amazing people here. Because I know there are all kind of practitioners here. There are all kind of amazing, intelligent folks on this
Mm-hmm.
line today. And so I'm so excited that you opened up your arms and door to make sure
Mm.
that I can come in here and to share this juiciness and this goodness with these people
Mm.
today.
Well, it's my honor. And let me just say this in closing. And I want to acknowledge June in Connecticut, and Renee in Maryland, and Day in Maryland, and Alicia. Tell us where you are. No matter what kind of business you have, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a coach, whether you're a sales or a business consultant of some kind, an image consultant, a physical trainer, all of you have some kind of events. Whether you're already doing your events, listen, if you want to have a boring event, then she ain't your girl. If you want to have an event that's mediocre and just, you want to settle for easy, she ain't your girl. But if you want to go abundantly above all, she is your girl. So grab that gift, get on her mailing list, and allow Dionna to pour her brilliance into your business. So thank you for your willingness to serve. Thank you for your willingness to be all that God has called you to be, so that you can teach people how to create a movement from their own gifts. So, and thank you for coming on today, girl. I appreciate you. So that's it for this episode. Our 30 minutes always go by fast. So listen, every month I come in and I share topics with you. So sometimes I do training, sometimes I bring in guests. And so how we come up with our topics is from you. So anything you want to know, again, around what your purpose is or what your niche is in your business, that first area is one. Two, the value, whether you're trying to figure out time management. I did a great time management workshop a couple of weeks ago, right? Anything value tied to it, you don't know what to charge, any of those things. That's the area number two. And then number three, how to create multiple streams of revenue from it. So any question you have that's related to any of those things or anything in between, send us an email. Your topic could be what we talk about, whether it's a guest I find or whether I'll do a training for that particular episode. Again, you go send an email to byb@blackdoctor.org. So again, thank you for joining us for this episode. I appreciate you. I'll be back next Thursday with yet another yummy, yummy episode. So, but before I leave, number one, I want you to tell us the value you got out of today. Number two, I want you to click and share, because somebody in your network needs this insight, right? Alicia says, Bay Area, she owns a media agency. You are so welcome. And listen, those of you that need Dionna, let me put her gift up one more time. Make sure you grab her free gift. Make sure you go to manifestmyevent.com/freebie. All right. So with that said, I'll see y'all next Thursday for another episode. Have a phenomenal rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.